Hi friends! If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Tina Zink and I am an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up! And I live in Nova Scotia, Canada. And today I am sharing a really fun technique. I am calling it the double dry emboss technique, and it's a fun way to use two embossing folders to create a really great background. I've been using this technique on some of my Christmas cards and I love how they turned out, so I can't wait to share this with you. So let's get stamping. Okay you guys, I'm about to introduce you to a very addictive technique. Once you learn how this technique works, I guarantee you are going to be pulling out your embossing folders and you're going to be playing and having so much fun with this. I know that because that's what I've been doing. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to use my winter snow, and as I always like to mention, I always think of bumps on bottom because that's what's going to be popping up and that's what's going to be on my front. So I have, if you feel it, one side is smoother, one side bumpier. So bumps on bottom, and close that up. I have my plate, and this is not a 3D folder, so I'm just gonna build my regular sandwich using my plates, and I'm just gonna run that through. All right. Snowflakes. Okay. Next, I am taking the evergreen pines. Now this particular folder, it doesn't matter which side you use because you're going to get a beautiful pattern just the way the design of this folder is. So I wouldn't be too concerned about bumps on bottom because there's actually some bumps on this side too. This one is bumpier, so I am going to go with that route, but don't stress about which side to put your paper in because it's going to be just beautiful. So now I am lining up my paper near the top where it's smoother because this is going to leave my snowflakes embossing, and then I'm going to have my trees down below. So this is a 3D folder. So I'm going to put that on my plate and put in my number 4 gray plate and run it through, and you guys won't believe the magic. Oh my gosh, this is so exciting. I now have white snowflakes up at the top, and down below I have my trees. So let me show you a sample using this technique. So I used the Merry Moose bundle for this, and you can see my snowflakes up on top and then the beautiful trees embossed down below, and it is just the coolest thing since sliced bread. Such a fun technique. And then all I did is I used the In the Pines bundle, so I stamped this tree and then the outline tree and used the die to cut it out and tuck it behind my moose. So these were some great last minute cards. I ran out of Christmas cards. I've sent so many this year. So these were some cards that I designed to mail out, and I just think it's adorable. I love it. So this combination is probably my very favorite. Mind you, I do love the one I just showed you, but this is pine wood planks and the greenery embossing folders. Now the greenery comes with these two patterns. I'm using the one with the leaves. So open it up, bumps on bottom, and put that in. Now for some reason with this particular folder, I don't know if it's just slightly thicker than my other 3D folders, but this won't work with it. It's just a little bit too thick. So for me, because every machine might be a little bit slightly different, I find just my regular clear plate with this one works fine. And this is the only embossing folder like that. All the other 3D embossing folders work great with that gray plate. So there's my pine wood planks. Scoot that back in. And this is where it's important to remember bumps on bottom, because it's almost like you want to have the little pillow effect, the little curved embossing on the top. So that's what's always going to go second for your second run through on the embossing folder. So I'm just going to line this up on the edge because it's not as wide as the other one. So I could either just put ribbon or something on that. It's okay, I'll figure it out later. And this one is the double plater. Check this out. I have my vines and greenery on top of the pine wood planks. How cool is that? Now, let me just say, it is important what order you use your embossing folders, because if you run this one through first and then the pine wood through second, this is what you're gonna get. You're basically going to get your pine wood pattern and the leaves kind of disappear. So that's the difference. So that's really, really important to keep in mind. So just have a play. And I did a couple in color so I could show you, because I wasn't sure how the camera was going to pick these up. And I'll be putting pictures in. But here it is with the old olive and with crumb cake. And I will show you some samples using these on finished cards. So for the next one, I used the Old World paper embossing folder, and then I ran our Scripty on top of that. And this is what I have. I'm really hoping the camera picks these up, but I will show you the finished cards. But you can definitely see the script on top of that Old World paper pattern. And it is just the coolest. You can sponge on top of that. You can do all kinds. And let me show you this one up close. So that's that one, and again, I will be sharing the finished cards in the video with you. For my next one, I used the Woodland embossing folder, which has been such a massive favorite with so many of us. And this is from the Wrapped in Texture embossing folder, and this is from our holiday catalog. And that also comes with these dots too. So I've been using these a lot. I love them. So the Woodland with the Wrapped in Texture gave me this one. So for this one, because the Woodland is more of the pillow, more of the puffy, that's what you want to do on your second one. I used this folder first, and then I used this folder second. So you're just gonna have to have a play around, but it's super, super fun. And it's a subtle background, but you can definitely see it on the trees. And then for the last sample, I used the new Painted Texture embossing folder. This is coming out in our January, our new January catalog. And this literally looks like you have oil paint or you're plastering. It is a really cool background. And then I used the other pattern that comes in the Wrapped in Texture. And this is what I got. And again, it may be hard to see on the camera, but it's the coolest technique ever. I just know you're going to have so much fun playing with this technique, and you're not going to look at your embossing folders the same. And I hope I've inspired you today to pull out your embossing folders and give this technique a try and have fun creating at home. If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button and the little bell next to it, and then you're notified every time I upload a new video. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. Happy stamping.